In this tutorial, we're going to take a look at building your very first pipe in AVEVA E3D. Firstly, from the Discipline tab, choose Piping. Then, inside of the Model Explorer, we want to select the site and zone in which we wish to create the pipe from. With the zone selected, choose Create Pipe and give your pipe a name. Next, select a piping specification you wish to use. I'm going to choose A3B. There are a few other attributes on this form, but for the purposes of this demonstration, we're not going to cover those. Click Apply, and you'll see that we'll now be on the Modify Pipe form. We have two tabs, which is Branch Tail and Branch Head. And the best way to think about this is the branch head is where the flow will start. So if you're liquid or gas, wherever the source comes from, so this is the head. And the tail is wherever that goes to. So it's flow start, flow end. You'll also notice in the hierarchy we now have a pipe and a branch. With the branch head tab selected, choose the selection button. And there's two ways we can connect to the head to the item we want. Firstly, we can click on the equipment and choose from the nozzle ID. But if we don't know the nozzle ID or we can see the nozzle, we can just simply click on the nozzle. We're going to repeat this process for the tail. And now we have a successfully connected branch head and branch tail. Next, we're going to take a look at building components, and to do that, we're going to choose the Create Component form. Now, if you open up the hierarchy, you'll be able to see that we can now have multiple items. We have a gasket, a flange, and a gasket. The hierarchy in the Model Explorer also works based on flow. So the first item in the hierarchy is the head of the flow, and the last item is the tail. With this first flange selected, which is the one at the head, and you can see this by the change of colour, we want to create an elbow. So select an elbow, ensuring we're in forwards mode, 90 degree, and create. You will receive an error at this point, and the reason is we're trying to connect a 90 degree butt weld elbow to a slip-on flange, which is not allowed, and therefore it offsets it by 100 mil. This elbow has come in pointed south, which isn't correct. We want to point it down. So to do that, we're going to go to Modify and Point Down. We're now going to repeat this process for the tail, but there are going to be some minor differences. When we select the elbow, we can't just create forwards because forwards is going this way, and that would create an elbow that's undesired. In order to create the correct elbow, we need to create against the flow, and to do this we will press the Against Flow button here. We'll now choose 90 degree elbow and connect. Again, we'll get the same error as before, but that is okay. This elbow's come in pointing west, which is not the direction we want it to go in. We want it to point east. So to do that, we're going to go to Modify. Now we can't just choose east in this case because we're working against with the flow currently. We need to work against the flow. And to do that, we need to change the direction to backwards. And now we can change to east. We're now going to create the next elbow, which is here. And elbow. Ensuring we're now in forwards mode because we want to create from this elbow. We're going to choose a 90 degree elbow and create. Again, this elbow is coming in the rock direction, so we want to ensure that it's pointing the right way. To do that, we're going to go to Modify, and because we put it in backwards mode before, we need to change that to forwards mode. We can now point this elbow west, and then finally we need to just position it in the same elevation as this elbow. There's two ways we can do this. We can either do the Position Through Next button, or we can click physically on the item we want. Now you'll see that no tube has been created in between, and that's because they're slightly misaligned. So to rectify this, we need to direct the elbows towards each other. There's a simple way to do this. With the elbow, the first elbow in the hierarchy selected, we want to direct this one to the next one. Selecting it, we can then choose the Direct to Next, and now we need to repeat the process for the other elbow. However, we need to be mindful that we need to go into backwards mode and then Direct to Next. And that completes our pipe. Finally, we can just close the form, and that's the very first pipe in AVEVA E3D. If you've liked this video, please give it a like, subscribe for future content on all things AVEVA, and we'll see you in the next video.